In local news, a group of organizations in Southern Alberta has launched a new economic initiative to enable success amidst U.S. tariffs, which will likely be disruptive to the provincial economy because the Alberta government relies so heavily on oil and gas exports to the U.S. for its revenue. BCN's Heidi Echavarria has the details.
Tariffs 25% on Canada and 25% on Mexico, and that'll start.
This is going to be tough. The American trade war is going to hurt the Canadian economy and is going to hurt all of us. What our government needs to make sure we're doing is try to make sure that nobody goes hungry. So we actually have to fold back on the one thing he has said repeatedly, that what he wants is to see a total collapse of the Canadian economy, because that'll make it easier to annex us, is the second half of his thought. Now, first of all, that's never going to happen. We will never be the 51st state. He can do damage to the Canadian economy. That's going to hurt people on both sides of the border.
As discussions surrounding tariff intensify in both the United States and Canada, experts warn of potential economic impact on Canadian markets. In response to these challenges, Southern Alberta is taking proactive steps with the launch of the Lethbridge Region Economic Resilience Task Force. Trevor Lubington, CEO of Economic Development Lethbridge, discusses how this new initiative is designed to bolster the region's economic resilience.
So the Business Data Lab at the Canadian Chamber of Commerce did identify Lethbridge as the 10th most vulnerable city in Canada to the impact of tariffs. And so, last year, Lethbridge exported about $2.2 billion worth of product, and that's mostly manufactured goods as well as value-added agri-food products, so it's not commodities. And 90% of all of that goes to the United States. So we're extremely vulnerable to the potential impact of tariffs. So that's why we need to come together. We've worked with 8 other community partners to bring together a coalition of the willing. So it's a number of like-minded organizations that are looking to really find solutions for industry in this region, support business. Southgrow Regional Economic Development is here. We have Alberta Southwest. We've got the Lethbridge Construction Association. We've got Tourism Lethbridge. Ourselves as Economic Development Lethbridge. We've got both of our major post-secondary institutions, so the City of Lethbridge, Lethbridge County, Prairies CAN, which is Prairies Economic Development Canada, as well as the Travel Industry Association of Alberta. Yeah, interprovincial trade and advocating for removal of some of those barriers is a key part of the work. Now here's the frustration. In Canada, we've been talking about removing or reducing interprovincial trade barriers for decades. My hope is that this is finally the situation that motivates us to do something about it.
We have become over-reliant on trade with the United States. A substantial amount of the commodities coming from the rural areas are sold directly into the United States market. A lot of it, of course, is processed here and then sold on to the US too. And we've been talking for decades about diversifying our trade and our exports and the need to do that. The reality is that it's harder to do that than it is to just do business as usual. And with a friendly neighbor to the south with large markets, it's been easy to sell into the United States. And frankly, we become over-reliant on that. I know the discussions around the board of directors for the Southgrow Regional Initiative has been, this needs to be a wake-up call to proactively work for a long time on diversifying our export and trade ties with other areas of the world.
With tariffs now in place, Southern Alberta is now focused on future challenges, mitigating potential impacts and ensuring long-term economic stability. For BridgeCityNews, I'm Heidi Echavarria.